Hi everyone, this is Sarah from Studio Blackwater, and today I'll be demonstrating how to use golden glass bead gel over an already finished painting. Golden glass bead gel is a thick medium that can be used directly on your canvas, either before, during, or after you paint, and it adds a little bit of texture. Lately, I've been into acrylic pouring, and I would not recommend this as a pouring medium. It's very thick, but you can use it to enhance your pours, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. I've played with this once over a pour I did on this 4x4 ceramic tile. I used a spatula, this one here actually, to smooth a very thin layer of the gel over the piece, and as you can see, it added an interesting icy sort of texture. It's kind of hard to see it on camera, but the glass beads are very small and smooth and very reflective, so they're also very clear, so you really don't have to worry about losing any of your pigment. It's still going to shine through, especially when it's in the right lighting. So I've got this test painting here, and I say test painting because it started out as a pour I didn't like. So then I drew an octopus and then painted black around it. Then I decided to practice fine lines of glitter, and the glittery octopus was born. So keeping in the tradition of continuing to mess with this piece, I'm going to fill in the octopus with this glass bead gel. So we don't really need many supplies for this. A painting you'd like to enhance, the glass bead gel, and a spreading tool of your choice will suffice. I'm going to be using this spatula, but you can use a small popsicle stick too if you'd like. I'm also going to be using a paintbrush. I haven't tried this yet, so I'm interested to see what the difference is going to be. Let's get started. So to get started, I'm just going to actually move this to the side so I can show you the texture of this paste. So when you open it up, you're going to see that it is opaque. Don't let that fool you. It's not going to dry opaque. Remember how I told you that putting this over your pour is not going to affect the final color of your pour. So, I mean, I've got golds and blacks and all these colors in here, and they're still shining right through. So this is actually going to dry clear. The only thing that you're still going to be able to see is going to be these really awesome glass beads that are in here. So let's just dive right into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off, actually I'm going to start off with the paintbrush because I haven't used that before. So I'm going to start off with the paintbrush, and I'm just going to start by kind of filling in some of the tentacles here, and we're going to see how this works. So I'm actually going to take a little bit of this and spoon it out into the cap here, just so I don't have to dip the paintbrush in there. Okay, so let's pick up a little bit and just kind of start smoothing it in there. And when you're putting this in here, it does take a little while to dry, so don't worry about rushing to do it. It's not going to dry on you as you're putting it through, not unless you're, not unless you're in like a really well ventilated area where you've got air continuously blowing across, or if you're putting such a thin layer on. But I mean, if you're using this, I would say about a bead's thickness, you're not going to need to worry about it drying so quickly that you can't rework it in areas. As you see, I mean, I've got these kind of patchy areas here, and I definitely want to smooth those out a little bit. So as I'm putting this on here, let's see if we can show this a little bit. It's difficult, again, to see, but you've got these little beads inside of the gel. So let me bring this up here a little bit. Maybe you can see. Okay, so you can see these those little circles in there. Those are your glass beads. So that's what you want to get a good even layer of in there, and that's kind of why I'm not excited about using the paintbrush, because I feel like you can spread it a little bit more smoothly with the spatula. So I'm actually going to not use this, and instead I'm going to go with this. So we'll take that, kind of like you're spreading peanut butter, I guess, on your painting. I'm just going to smooth that around. And this is a big enough shape that, I mean, using a spatula like this, is fine. It's going to smooth it out as I need. I don't have any, you know, even these little corners here, it'll be fine because this has a fine enough tip. So I'm just going to keep smoothing this over and see if we can get a nice smooth surface. All right, so you can see that I've spread this out as best I can. I know it looks a little bit uneven. You can see that there are some peaks and valleys, but I actually think that the texture this gel creates is going to add a really interesting dimension to this piece. Remember, this is going to dry completely clear, so this white area is not going to be a problem. That blue is going to shine right through. So I'm going to set this aside and let it dry overnight, and then we'll take a peek at it tomorrow. And then as for your tools, I mean, the spatulas are pretty easy. You can usually just wipe these off. For your brush, hot water will do the trick. Okay, so we'll check back in tomorrow and see how our glass bead gel glittery octopus is doing. All right, so it's been about 24 hours since I applied the golden glass bead gel to my glittering little octopus friend here, and it has cured, so it's a little hard to tell in this lighting. This is definitely not as opaque as it looks. It does have kind of like a whitish look to it at this angle, but let's zoom in a little bit here so you can see. You can see that this added a really neat texture. Now I put this on a little bit thicker. I wanted to experiment with ridges and textures and things like that, and I am not disappointed. I really like the way that this looks like sea foam. You can still see a lot of the colors are coming through, and I haven't really lost any of the shininess of the glitter and the integrity of the colors, but there's just this really neat texture on top of it now. So I am really happy with the way this turned out. I'm not sure if this means I'm going to stop experimenting with this painting because I've already used it for pretty much all of my experiments, so I'm not sure what the next step on him is going to be, but that's going to conclude my glass bead gel tutorial. So that's how you would apply the glass bead gel if you're trying to do, you know, just a part of a painting. And my next tutorial about the glass bead gel will likely be about doing coasters, doing a whole set of coasters, including how to seal the backs, because, I mean, face it, you don't want to use them like that. You probably want to put cork or something like that on the back, so we will explore using cork and felt on the back of these. And I'll take you through the entire process from start to finish, making a whole set of 6 of these, where to buy the tiles, all of that fun stuff. So that'll be the next video. As always, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.